What's up, y'all? Yo, I know a lot of people out there probably looking at this video and like, wait a second. I know that dude. Who is this dude? I know homie from somewhere. And then there's probably a lot more of you out there who like, fuck is this dude? Fuck is he doing on my damn computer? But for those of you who know me and shit, what's up? How you been? You know what I mean? I'm good. You know what I mean? How y'all motherfuckers been? And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Steelgrave, aka Since Steelgrave. And me, I'm a motherfucker from Brooklyn. And you know, I've been around, I've done some things, I've been some places, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is not a story, or this is not a blog, or whatever the fuck you call this shit. This is not a message about who I am or whatever. But you know who I am already, blah, blah, blah. But this is just to express something that's kind of like, you know, been a back and forth thing with me and a couple of other people and what have you, right? Early today, I was at one of my homie cribs, and we was listening to something on the radio. Actually, it wasn't on the radio. Scratch that. We was looking on his MySpace page, and on his MySpace page, you know, motherfuckers got music and shit. So he was like, "Yo, son, check this shit out." And the shit was hard. It had a throwback beat. Someone spitting that murder shit, and I'm like, that shit is official. Know what I mean? And I was like, what is funny because dudes is like, it'd be nice if half of this shit was actually true. Now, it wasn't like I was hating. I was just stating the fact that this particular individual came out, his buzz was up a little bit, and he was talking that gangster shit like, you know, he really gets it in or whatever. But then there were people who came across right behind him was like, homie, you fronting. I'm from around your way. You ain't really do this to this person. You ain't do that. You don't really get it in like that. Don't even nobody know you or nothing you did. And I was like, I didn't really run with it because I don't know him. I don't know them. But I know that there are people out there who've come from good homes and will go in the studio and talk that murder shit like they lived it. And for a long time, that kind of half-ass bothered me. Because for those of you who don't know, I'm somewhat of a fucking gangster. Not to glorify it, not to sound like everybody else, but I've done some fucking things in my life that I ain't necessarily proud of, but I ain't shit I'm ashamed of neither. That being said, though, to bring it back to the discussion that me and my man had, he was just like, so fucking what? He was like, did Schwarzenegger kill all those motherfuckers in their movie? Did De Niro kill all these motherfuckers in their movies? And I'm like, no. But he was like, he's like, it's entertainment. And I'm like, I understand the entertainment aspect of it, my man. But for a long time, I didn't understand why dudes were so mad about it. But I was kind of mad about it too, because I'm like, son, you frontin', you never really did that. I really did that. I really burned for shit like that. And now to sit there and have people believing that you really got it in, and then I really started thinking like, that's some ignorant ass shit. Like, why am I mad because you're capitalizing off the shit that I've done, or you're glorifying shit that you've never done, that you don't really understand the ramifications of? Like, you don't really know. Like, I was mad because people were getting, scratch that. I wasn't mad. But it like kind of like, son, you don't understand what it's like to stab somebody, to feel a knife go into somebody's flesh. You don't know what it's like to stand right up on somebody and pump a bullet into them. To see that look in their face, that utter and abject fear that's in their face when they realize that their life is in your fucking hands. That's shit that only a soulless motherfucker doesn't think about at some point. Not to sit there and say to the motherfucker, lose no sleep over it. But it's shit that, you know, it's emotions that come into doing shit like that. You know what I'm saying? There are other emotions and aspects to it. You can go into the studio and talk murder. And hey, homie, that's your prerogative. If you can do it in an entertaining way that entertains people, by all means, live it. And I'm kind of getting off the subject and shit. But what it comes down to for me is, some was just like, son, these dudes are replacement players. And they are imitating the life that you live. This is no different from Robert De Niro and Ray Liotta and Joe Pesci and these guys who in Goodfellas imitating Henry Hill and Tommy and these other guys who really lived it. For those who may have still been alive, who actually lived this to see Goodfellas made, I don't think that they were sitting there saying that Pesci or these other guys were wrong for depicting the actual gangster shit that they did. You know, I don't believe, you know, that these guys were sitting there and angry that these guys, these actors, were depicting it. So when I really look at it like that, I can't be mad at a lot of these entertainers for depicting the life that some of us were unfortunate enough to have to live. Now, for a long time, there was another rapper who I didn't really care for too much. I'm not going to say his name because it came across to me like he was angry that he couldn't get in and he couldn't get on, and that the other dudes who were established weren't stepping aside to make room for him as a new artist. And I was like, son, you got to grind. You know, stop being a fucking hater. Get your motherfucking weight up. That's what I was thinking, like. But then I thought, this man has been through the struggle much like myself. Son has been in the can for a substantial amount of time. Son done, you know, been in the wars, obviously, in the can. You know, he has evidence of that fact. And I guess my understanding, his G-Files is up. You know, he ain't never folded, he ain't never bent, or, you know, or whatever, or crumbled or nothing like that. You know, he's been through it. And I guess that's his anger manifested itself in his art. Whereas me, I didn't have a venue to maybe express the anger. So I let go of that anger and started listening to Son and realized the Son is an entertaining dude. And for those who can read between the lines, you know who I'm talking about there. But the Son kind of gave me some perspective on the fact earlier today that a lot of dudes are not necessarily trying to live this shit. They just saying the things that people like myself and certain other people like me and people who are still in the struggle have been through. And they depicted it in an entertaining manner to entertain the masses. And we're not supposed to take these fools seriously. So when he gives me that kind of perspective, I was like, I can live with that. You know, and I all of a sudden stopped being a little mad about it. I wasn't mad. Honestly, I wasn't. But anyway, it's like, for those of us who are out there, I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, people. I really did. I really honestly lost my train of thought. But the bottom line is this. We can't read too much into nothing that these rappers say. Or any entertainer for that matter. Because at the end of the day, my friends, it's just entertainment. Gangster motherfuckers out there, man, like myself, who've been through things, who've done shit, don't be mad at these little young dudes because they talking about they balling and they got bricks and they got Marcialagos and, you know, they do all of these things. And little dudes is 19 and just got a single out there and talking about they push powder and shit like Johnson and Johnson. And, you know what I mean? You know, motherfuckers got it all and they the king of their city, and if you want bricks, come see them. And I'm like, really? I mean, because I've been to your city, and when I wanted bricks, I ain't come to see you. But again, you know, I mean, even your more established elder artists who remain nameless aren't really what I believe aren't really what they say that they are. They're depicting the lives of someone else who really was really about it like that. And I guess if you really look at it like that, it's all good. You know, they're bringing a face to somebody who may want to remain faceless. Because maybe they're still involved in a little, you know, something. You know what I'm saying? And I guess that's cool, you know, because, you know, you in the street, man, you grind, man, you want the props. You don't want this hood props. You want the world to know that you fucking give it up, how you give it up. You want the world to know. And I guess sometimes it ain't really safe for the motherfucker out there who really got bricks to be talking about, I got bricks. So I guess they get little go-betweens to go in the studio and talk about it. Wow, that's ill, ain't it? But anyway, people, man, I'm going to clip this one right here, man, because I'm going to start rambling about a whole bunch of other wild shit about the hood and geopolitics and whatever, know what I'm saying? Because I'm an opinionated motherfucker, man. So, you know, ultimately, man, it's just entertainment. But when it comes a time when a real motherfucking gangster gets into the motherfucking studio and tells it from his heart, fuck it. It ain't even